Hey y'all. The underground scene in rap right now is like a nuclear waste field. Many different rappers are being accused of many different terrible things. Isaiah Tigi supports Palestine. If you don't know what that means, then basically he supports the unjustified killing of millions of Israeli citizens and then losing their houses. So that's fucked up. David Shoddy is a sex offender. They better put that pin on the map to let people know where he is. DJ Fat is a pedophile. Basically the Drake of the underground. Until Japan scammed his fans, which is despicable. Literally just the Frank Ocean of the underground. And, most recently and worst of all, we have the Kanye West of the underground who came out as a Nazi and shared his political views with the world. And that, in itself, makes up for a pretty terrible person overall. Someone who supports the unjustified killing of Jewish people in the Holocaust. That just doesn't sit right with me. And that is why I have decided that I want to talk about Brennan Jones, because not only has he proved himself as a terrible person, but he also looks like the bleached version of Ryuk from Death Note. I'm not kidding. Let's do a side-by-side once. Now you get the idea of how similar they look, right? Like whoever wanted the Wish version of Super Saiyan Goku, am I right? But for real, it's not even that hard to tell he's from Florida because I'm looking at this haircut, right? And it looks like he hasn't washed that shit in, let's say, give or take, 2 months. 2 whole months. That's probably how long he has went without a shower as well. Not that surprising considering that out of all of the states that make up America, Florida has the worst hygiene out of all of them. They don't even use toothbrushes to brush their teeth. They use toothpicks. How do I know this? Because the average IQ of a Florida individual is a rock. They're not as bright as they look. If they were, then Kodak Black would know by now not to drive places with drugs and weed on him. He would know this if he just used his brain. But honestly, I don't even think Florida people have brains. They threw away the remaining brain cells they had in order to start their music careers. And I know there's this whole discussion about separating the art from the artist, but you can't even do that when it's incorporated into the music. For further proof, see tracks 1, 11, 12, 15 and 16 on Vulture's 1. But to really prove to you guys that his music isn't any better than this whole Nazi ideology, let's get right into the shit. Let's get started with his very first song, which is named after Duval County in Florida. You know, the place he's from. Now keep in mind that his songs are very short, so in the 1-minute duration that the songs usually go for, they are long enough to make your brain cells rot away. So with that being said, this is complete and utter dog shit. His rapping on this stinky ass beat doesn't even do it justice, and it's basically just your average flex rap song which doesn't really have that much in value and substance. So this will be his first skip, but definitely not his last. Next up is Reek, a song where he talks about Call of Duty. And it's another flex rap song to be expected. The beat is a little better on this song though, I will give it that. But him naming a song Reek isn't really surprising considering he stinks himself. So yay. Maybe hop in the shower after making a song like this. Next up is Keep Quiet SHHHH, a song that doesn't even take itself seriously as it's a whisper rap song, kind of like he was recording this late at night while his parents were sleeping and he didn't want to wake them up, so he made this. Another flex rap song like usual, except he mentions the Holocaust, which further plays into this whole thing of not being able to separate the art from the artist, as he clearly supports the killing of innocent Jews. So not only does this song make up for the shit person he is, but it's also not enjoyable to listen to in the slightest. Freestyle has some pretty terrible bars in itself, like the one where he says, "She made my dick grow, I feel like Groot." Also, not to mention that there are many other songs named Freestyle that are better than this one. And hell, as overrated as Freestyle by Lil Baby is, I'm still taking that over this song named Freestyle. Next, in the steps of canceling himself even further, Brennan Jones compares himself to Bill Cosby. You know, the guy who drugged women in the hopes that he could get them to sleep with him? So let me get this straight. You're gonna bag women the same way he did? Well, that's not gonna end well either way. Outside of that, another flex rap song where he talks about doing shows and killing people. Nothing really much else to it. Brennan Jones further admits that he stinks in both the musical sense and the sense of his own physical being in Nasty, where he does more of the flex rap shit we're used to hearing from him. Yet another skip. If you've been keeping up with the overall theme the last 5 songs have, then you can obviously guess what the lyrics of this song are gonna be along the lines of. This song's a little longer than what we're used to hearing from him, but it's still not good. Spicy is a song about the preference in women that Brennan Jones likes. And it's just another skip. Look at the title of the song. You obviously know it's gonna be about Brennan flexing his wealth. And it's a skip as well. Same old shit we heard on the last few songs. Can we get this done with already? Yet again, same old shit we heard several times already. This one is more atrocious than the rest though. You know, this far into the video, I realized how much I hate repeating myself. You obviously know what this song's about. Let's just move on to my overall thoughts on Brennan Jones as a person and rapper. Ooh boy, I got a lot to get off my chest with this one. For starters, when I was listening to every single this man put out, he reminded me of a white Glock 40 spaz. But you know, worse than the actual music he puts out. Which really puts into hindsight how much I prefer Glock's music over his. Because ooh boy, I went through a lot of dog shit. And the worst part is that 3 songs into his music and I already knew how I felt about him. That's bad for any rapper, especially one of Brennan's kind. And another thing I noticed throughout is that his sound is constantly mind-numbing, meaning the only enjoyment you can get out of his music is turning off your brain and not thinking too hard about each song you hear. Because when you do that, you might be able to enjoy the music more. Unfortunately, I don't do that. Alright, look. I've been doing this for 3 years and I am brutally honest with each of my reviews. It all boils down to whether I like something or hate it. And it's not that hard to tell that this is genuinely terrible music. To further prove my point, I'm gonna name 10 rappers that are better than Brennan Jones. And to be fair, I am not gonna use talented rappers on my list because that would be cheating. So obviously, I'm stooping down to his level. So I have 10 picks that reflect that. Ready? Okay. Lil Xan is our first pick. Even when he's making mind-numbing music like Brennan Jones does, he puts more effort into it. And yes, I said that Lil Xan puts effort into his music, despite me giving one of his albums a 0 out of 10. In the same lane as Brennan Jones, we have our second pick, which is Lil Pump. He is also from Florida and makes the same mindless music he does with terrible lyrics and questionable music decisions. Except you forgot he can actually make good music. Yay. I said it. Listen to any song of his from 2017 to 2018. It hits bro. Also in the same lane as Brennan Jones is Smoke Perp, our third pick. Both can't freestyle and are known for their terrible lyrics. Except the same thing I said about Lil Pump applies to Smoke Perp, and that's not just because they work together. He actually made good music back in the day. Any song of his from 2017 to 2018 hits. Just don't listen to anything of his past 2019 cause it doesn't hit anymore. Everything went down in flames after his Tim Westwood freestyle, where the backlash got so bad that the creator of the video disabled the comments. Also, that whole 1985 thing played into the downfall of his career as well. It should also be stated that Brennan Jones isn't taken seriously in the rap space, so that's why I brought in Miles as our fourth pick. Both are goofing around and not actually making good music. Unlike Brennan Jones, however, Miles beefs with a lot of people. He is currently in a back and forth with Twitch streamer Kaisetit, who called him out for talking shit and wearing a mask while doing it. He did face reveal once and it wasn't a joke, so at least we know who the person talking shit looks like. Netsplend is our fifth pick. Both are white rappers that get dunked on everywhere they go. Nobody likes either of their musical careers and they always have something negative to say about what they put out. I feel like it's also right for Space Ghost Pert to be our sixth pick, as both him and Brennan Jones are hated on in the rap space, especially Pert, who constantly involved himself in rap feuds and drama only for his career to be ruined by Denzel Curry. Both may also be autistic, so keep that in mind. Let's run through our last four picks real quick just to get an idea of why Brennan Jones might be the worst rapper of all time. Our seventh pick is A Punch. Eighth pick is Submarine Man. Ninth pick is Sexy I Red, and our 10th pick is Lil Mabu. So clearly Brennan Jones is one of the worst rappers I have listened to in quite some time, as not only is his music terrible but the way he acts doesn't make up for it either. Thanks for watching. I'm out of here.